All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and move on. British Williams is talking to Carlos. Let's hear what she had to say.
Every day I have this conversation with myself. Every day I say to myself, damn, if I knew these were the consequences to the things that I did to try to survive, I wouldn't have done them. And one thing that I hate that I see is people's like, oh, she was trying to keep up with the Joneses, or, oh, this is just for her to buy bags and purses. I'm like, no, absolutely not. This was me trying to make sure my sister could finish her master's degree from Northwestern. Me trying to make sure that we didn't lose our house that was in foreclosure. Me trying to make sure that, that we were okay. Lorenzo didn't work for like 3 years. Like, he had went to a point, and a lot of people could probably relate to this if they've dealt with an athlete before. Once they retire, they don't know what to do most of the time. And they go into these depressions where they are just at a point where they don't know what to do. And I wasn't going to just allow the entire family to just fall to the wayside. And I took it upon myself to do things that I didn't think I was going to go have a 9-year sentence for, if that makes any sense, ever. Even
then you would be stupid. Shout out to Jamila T. Davis and all of the girls down there on the BET Plus show. Queen Pins. There are some girls down there that was doing fraud too. And they always make an example out of black women, because you're not supposed to be this smart. And this ain't your system, bitch. So as much as you doing your research on how much time a regular person, a white person, would get for this crime, they're going to make an example out of your old, halfway famous black ass. Let me tell y'all something. And I know, this is why I come into somebody that was grateful in this life. My daddy always would talk to me about, don't do shit that'll have you looking over your shoulder. Don't do shit that will have you looking over your shoulder, because if you can get caught, you will get caught. Especially when you fucking around with the IRS, scamming and shit money. And then when you get to that certain tax bracket level and all of that, oh, they gonna put your ass up. They gonna hem you up.
Some things that I didn't know were illegal. Then things that I did know that were illegal, I never would think this would be the consequence.
Did Lorenzo know what you were doing?
Wasn't she scamming when she was on trial? Like during the time period, during the pandemic, when she was waiting to go on trial, she was still scamming during that time?
Girl. Yeah. Somewhat. Maybe it might have been some instances that he didn't know anything about, but like most of the time
he knew he didn't have no fucking money, goofy ass nigga.
I would say yes. Yeah.
How did you find out?
Carlos, I cannot stand you. Carlos in this fucking turtleneck and these glasses trying to look deep. I cannot.
This is all going down. Were you contacted by the IRS? Did the feds come to your place of residence?
In 2019, the feds showed up to my house. And they wanted to ask me some questions. And I was like, what?
Were they like in the movies in suits and stuff? Or
They were. It was two of them, and there was 2 investigators, and they started asking me questions. And at first I was like, and then they came back and they wanted to talk, and I recorded the entire thing. Mm-hmm. So I still have it on recording, just as they probably do. And we had a conversation, and I was like, they were asking me questions. I'm like, yeah, okay, like what? I'm like, I don't know what that is. I don't know. Like whatever it was, if I knew, I knew. But if I didn't, I didn't know. Like I would tell them. And we had that conversation. And then I don't know if it was because of COVID, but 2 years later, I got a call from my lawyer, because I had put a lawyer on retainer just in case if something happened, that like, you've been indicted. And I'm like, I've been indicted. He's like, yeah. He was like, the federal agents came today to my office and asked that we set up a time for you to turn yourself in to be able to do it. And I'm like, okay. So he sends me the indictment. I look through my indictment. I'm like, I'm reading through it. Like, this is, I'm like, these are the things that they have on my indictment. And I'm like, the indictment itself was like, I don't know, $45,000 maybe, what they had come up with, because I don't understand how they come up with these numbers. They had, even with my restitution, they said tax evasion. You haven't paid taxes since 2020. But how did you come up with these numbers? How do you know how much I made? Like, I don't get it. Like, you see what I'm saying? So it's one of the,
because they're thinking about how much money you illegally obtain. That's how. That's how they got you, because they knew what you were doing. So of course they knew how much money you were probably making, and they gonna hit you up every other way. That's why you don't do this shit. You don't play with the government. The house always wins.
Those things where it's fucked up. I don't know what other way to put it. This is just every day I have this conversation with myself.
Okay, hold up. There are more clips. Hold up, y'all. Let me get the other clips, because I thought I had saved the right one and I didn't. I saved the wrong one. But y'all, it sounds to me like she's trying to like feign ignorance in some respect. And you were scamming for such a long time that I just can't believe that you didn't know that this was gonna happen. And then it says that she received permission to delay prison sentence to spend Christmas with her daughter. That's nice. I'm glad they did that. I'm glad they did that. Y'all should probably ask her how she paid for the baby's Christmas presents. Yeah, y'all should probably check in on that. Hold up. Is this the same one? Hold up. Here we go. There we go. Hold up, y'all. It's coming. It's coming.
That's all. Don't overly sentence me because of who I am and because you feel like I should be held to a higher standard, because the criminal system is not made for that. The criminal system is supposed to be blind, where you're basing things off of what you see on paperwork, what you see the person did, what you see if the person had a history of doing this, if the person has done this before. And it just makes me, I never understood it. We talk so much about Black men in our society and how the police or how the legal system really triggers them or isn't made for us, but it's not made for Black people in general.
Dog whistle.
Women, men, it doesn't matter. Like, and I never understood it until I sat in it and watched it happen to me, if that makes any sense. You know, we see people like, I come from a community where I have a lot of people that went to jail for selling drugs, or maybe they shot somebody, or, you know, they look at these things as terrible because they are things that are horrible for our community. But when we look at, you know, people who do things that are nonviolent, we look at, oh, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm not trying to, but
I'm gonna be real. I don't think people should go to jail for nonviolent crimes. I don't, y'all. I don't think people should go to jail for nonviolent crimes. I think there should be other more inventive ways of you know, doing what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? But I also feel like stealing from people, you need to go to jail because you stole from people and you weren't learning your lesson. So apparently you needed to go sit your ass down somewhere. So I'm gonna read for y'all what page 6 is saying. Basketball Wives alum Brittish Williams claims a series of issues, including horrible gambling addiction, plus her father's death, led to fraudulent criminal behavior that has landed her a 4-year prison sentence. You think you don't deserve 4 years for 10 years of scamming when you could have just went and got a goddamn job? You could have went and got a job. You was on Basketball Wives. You could have got on social media and started making your money on social media. But instead, you decided to scam and steal social security numbers. And y'all always want people to feel bad about y'all losing y'all freedom when y'all play fast and loose with your own fucking freedom. I was saying this shit about C Murder. Y'all, people want to believe so bad that C Murder didn't do what them people said he did because witnesses are changing their stories 20 years later and shit. But I'm going to just say this. It wasn't nothing about C Murder's life that showed you he was trying to stay out of trouble. C Murder had jumped somebody the same day that he allegedly unalived the man. The same man that he allegedly unalived, he jumped him right before. So you running around with your niggas like New Orleans niggas do because y'all promote criminal behavior. So you running around with guns and shit. You big Billy badass. You got your big dick energy and you punking people and you highly volatile. And every time somebody look at you funny, you want to start an issue with somebody because you know you can. You threatening motherfuckers all day, every day. You walking around in your everyday life doing illegal shit, not giving a fuck about the fact that you can get caught up and end up in jail. And then when your ass end up in jail, you want to turn around and ask everybody else to feel sorry for you because what? Because now you in jail and that's so terrible, as if you didn't know that was a possibility this whole time. Y'all, I'm all here for you when they wrong and you right. I'm all here for you when they wrong and you right. But bitch, you did this shit. Let me finish reading this shit to y'all. I'm sorry. Just upset me with this foolishness. Always trying to like do the black people thing. More so of a reason for why you shouldn't be out here playing fast and loose with your freedom when you know how they love to hem black people up. The gambling addiction had a lot of domino effects to things that would occur. Williams, 33, 2 years younger than me, tells esteemed reality TV producer Carlos King in Page 6 exclusive preview of Tuesday's Reality with the King podcast episode when her dad died in 2017 after a grueling battle with idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. Mind you, it says she had been scamming from 5 years before this, but okay. The reality star had suppressed her gambling habits. She explains that she received insurance money from his passing and wanted to do right with the influx of cash, given her history of spending it irresponsibly. So instead of investing it, starting a legit business with it, Williams said she intended to build her credit up and sought help from a financial advisor who sold her a credit privacy number, a CPN, 9-digit number format like a social security number. It's frequently used by scammers to mislead consumers into thinking it can replace one's social security number. It is illegal to create a false identity with a CPN. Though Williams claims that she bought one with the sole intention of pulling herself out of a financial hole, so instead of using the money that your daddy gave you to pay off your debts, you used it to go and get a fake CPN number, especially after losing tens of thousands of dollars to her gambling addiction. She says, when people see this misuse of a social security number, they think I went and stole people's social security numbers or something. That wasn't the case. Okay. I bought a CPN from a credit lady. I don't know if it was somebody's actual social security number or if it was something they created. I don't know. That's where that came from. So you was doing shit that was illegal and you was just assuming that you wasn't going to have to deal. You were assuming you weren't going to have to deal with the consequences. A lot of y'all do this. A lot of y'all go and purchase and you know, do fugazi ass shit with people when it come to y'all taxes and all of those things. And y'all just assume that ain't nobody going to catch up with y'all. I don't have my anxiety levels is already high, y'all. I'm an empath. I can't take that type of stress. In May, the former VH1 reality personality who appeared on Basketball Wives in 2014, season 3, pleaded guilty to 5 federal counts of misuse of a social security number, 4 counts of bank fraud, 3 counts of making false statements to the IRS, and 3 counts of wire fraud. The crimes took place over the course of nearly a decade and continued even after Williams was indicted, per Assistant U.S. Attorney Diane Gluck. Williams illegally obtained PPP loans that weren't meant for businesses affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, federal authorities also allege. Okay. Additionally, the mother of one who shares daughter Dash with ex-fiance Lorenzo Gordon was accused of underreporting her income on tax returns from 2017 to 2019, fraudulently using social security numbers that were not assigned to her to open accounts with credit card companies and banks, and submitting fake medical bills to at least one insurance company. Throughout that period in Williams' life, she beat her gambling addiction, which she says drained her financially and emotionally. No one even knows this besides my family and friends. I used to have a very, very bad gambling problem. Horrible, she confesses. Like when you think about people being on drugs or being alcoholics, I don't think there is anything worse than gambling. Yeah, she do look like she used to be flat-footed walking around them dirty-ass carpeted casinos. At the height of her issues, William lost $50,000 over Christmas, making the holidays particularly bleak. This is why everybody should be careful about her staying out for Christmas with her kid. It was really an addiction that I literally had to wean myself from. And on top of having my lifestyle and, you know, just everything that I was used to doing and having, this addiction was horrible. I remember being just that Christmas 1 year and losing almost $50K like in 2 days. It was horrible. No matter the struggle she faced before committing fraud in a number of ways, racking up 15 felonies in total, Williams will eventually have to take accountability for her actions. Bitch, you had 15 felonies and they only gave you 4 years. While she was sentenced in October, it remains unknown when she will report to prison. In addition to the 4-year sentence, Judge Henry E. Autry ordered the Missouri resident to pay restitution of $565,000, $500,000. Okay. And I just feel like that's within, she can do it. She can do it. You're a reality TV star. You do some reality shows. You actually start taking advantage of your story. When you get out of jail, write a book about the experience. Turn that shit, turn that shit into a profit for you. You have an interesting life to tell. Turn it into a profit for yourself. Y'all need to go and study Corinne Steffens, study overseeing for somebody that knows how to make money off of having a fucked up life. Okay? Check out the Kardashians. Okay? You need to look and see what people are doing, how they making their money off their lives when they need to. Okay? Let me see what y'all are saying. No, she ain't got $500,000. Wow, that 5 slaps on the wrist, she made out like a bandit, truly. And she's still up there acting like the criminal justice system is just fucking over her. Meanwhile, you've been stealing from people for over a decade. I don't even understand. Thank you, Shakaya Muzone. Thank you for your common sense that not everyone has. Oh, girl. It's exhausting, isn't it? But thank you. Thank you for acknowledging it. Oh my God. Thank you. Christian, thank you again for another super chat. This whole lying, Your Honor. Sis was on Demon Time, scamming her fan base of black women, girl. The fuck bye. We don't feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for her. I don't, because ultimately I feel like we all make decisions. We are all living in the same goddamn country as black women, knowing that you don't get away with shit just because, oh, I didn't know. That's not a good enough excuse after 10 years of scamming people, my girl. It's just not. It's so sad. It's so sad. She just wanted probation. Oh, well, I'm sorry, girl. You're going to do them 4 years that then people saying you should do. She might get out, faster on good behavior. Maybe she'll get out in 2 years. If they sentence her to 4, she might get out in 2. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, you'll probably start scamming as soon as you get out. I mean, to me, I feel like she kind of started out making money from her pussy. Wasn't she with the basketball player? That's how it started, right? That retarded ass nigga, you was really in love with him? Oh, okay. That wasn't a money grab? All right. I don't know. I think whenever you get with goofy basketball players, a lot of the times it's a money grab. But yeah, no, I feel like she got off easy. I feel like the interview is meant to make people feel bad for her. And I just kind of feel like I'm not playing these games with y'all, because essentially as a 35-year-old woman, what I have always understood is you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. You do not play with the government. You don't play about money and all of that, because that shit will always catch up to you. It always will catch up to you, especially now. They're getting even better at detecting things. This ain't the fucking 70s and the 80s where people was actually using hard copies of shit and somebody had to bring something somewhere. No, everything is through computers now. And it is so very easy and quick to find out if people are not making what they supposed to be making or doing what they supposed to be doing. So I don't know why people even play those games like that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, if you don't want to have to worry about then people come and knock on your door, you do what the fuck you supposed to do. Don't be like British and assume that it won't happen to your black ass.